Hi. Hi. Okay, I've got a new announcement to make. I've got a new announcement to make. Um, um, um. I'm waiting for people. Hey, people are signing on. Hi, my new announcement is like I don't know. That's my announcement. I'm remembering. No, it's I have these new feature films. I have these new feature films I've been working on for since last year, since for months or so, um, and they're not as really high quality as my best work, my three feature films that I did before, but they're still feature films. Um, there's three of them, and they're gonna be sequel. They're gonna be parodies and kind of like fair use parodies of big name movies. One of them is called Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2. Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2. And it has me. That's why those sets in the background are Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I filmed some more. I had already filmed some Pee Wee's parody stuff, and I called it Wee Wee Sherman. And I got in costume. I had my hair about the same length, and I got in costume as I got in costume as um 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 okay, and that's one of them. That one is almost done editing. That one, and it's like me alone. Hi, yeah, these are like fair use parodies. They're not big Universal Studios stuff unless for some reason someone wanted to hire me. I'm not trying to go a huge A-list level. I just want to make a living at it because I know how to do it and I'm good at it, and I enjoy it more than other types. It's really hard work. It's hard work, and um, I know how to do it well. I know how to do the post production. I know how to. Starting from the beginning, you start with a script. And Brokeback Mountain and Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2 are the first feature length movies that I'm doing that don't really have a script. And the point with the purpose with these movies is to do a lot of them, not one big masterpiece that has, you know, someone's life and energy and blood and sweat and tears and all that stuff put into it, and it's not something more like that, which is some of my films have some of that. They were really a lot of effort to create. um my film Rebel Fish short film and some of the other ones, um that I really spent a lot of time in editing, like Meant to Be, Rebel Fish, those are my short films. Imagination, Tyrann and Og, those are my short films that Danica directed, those two, Imagination and Tyrann and Og. And there's all sorts of other ones. I have feature films that I spent a lot of effort on. Crazy Animal, which was originally called One Nation Under God. Then there's Rednecks, that was released, that got a lot of people to watch it. Rednecks and Crazy Animal, those two, I think close to 10,000 people bought those on DVD and Blu-ray, and it's tremendous, a lot of effort that I put into it, years of work on each one. Um, about a year of way more than full-time work, or years of minimal full-time work, something like that. Um, a lot of effort went into those two, and I think close to 10,000 or more than 10,000 people watch those from the math that I've done, because they send me a quarterly report on those. The movie company Troma Entertainment. They say how many DVDs are sold or Blu-rays are sold, whatever they sell online, which is like all their other places they sell movies and stuff. So those I spent a lot of effort and energy into and made them like as much close to masterpieces as I could. But the Vampires of Zanzibar didn't really get seen by much of an audience yet. And that one's really good. And the original is good quality. It's in SD, but it's very good quality, the original. I was gonna go back and edit it and re-release it with a different name, and I think I'm gonna maybe do that this summer, but I have to do something to the technical stuff. I have to do something to the technical stuff on, like, to not have interlacing to the frames per second. Instead of 29.97 frames per second, it has to be like 24 frames per second as the original was in SD. And it was a good quality SD. It's from back in 2009. And all my films were good quality. I made sure at the time to get the highest quality possible that I could save the master copy on of the film. So even back to 2000 or 2002, because I used to have this ridiculous level of, I thought it would be the best timeless masterpiece on earth and in the universe anyone had ever seen. That's why I worked so hard. A big good one that's a good one. Have a good one. Um, and but I want to do an amazing one that's not a comedy, that has a lot of effort and work and energy and meaning, like my film Meant to Be times about 10. I want to do one of those. But on my channel now, I'm not doing any of those really well thought out ones, or I'm not doing one of those, which might take years and years. It may take 7 years to do one of those properly, a feature film. So I'm not doing one of those right now because there's a lot of risk involved and it could cost some money. And when I was younger, anyway, these films are more fun films. There's Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2 that I'm putting on my channel, and I filmed it, a lot of it by myself, but it's like Pee-wee Herman in his house acting weird. Well, I may have some more to film, and that's gonna be a feature film on my channel, Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2, and I can use the title as a fair use parody, they call it, and have it on YouTube. I was gonna put it on Amazon.com for Amazon rental for download, and I have an LLC for it. So if any of the big companies say, "Oh, you can't," then I'd be okay. And that's one, Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2. Then there's Brokeback Mountain 2, and then there's the first one I'm putting on, it's uploading now. It's almost done uploading. It's probably going to be on here by this afternoon or something, today or tonight or today, probably today. It's almost done uploading, and that one's called Spinal Tap 2. Spinal Tap 2. And that one I didn't intend to be Spinal Tap. I just gave it the name Spinal Tap 2, and it's more of this ambient stuff you've already seen on my channel, and I edited it because it's feature length. All this stuff I really edited on the computer and put a lot of effort into it's like more of like an avant-garde ambient. It doesn't really have a script. It's kind of like, but I called it Spinal Tap 2, and I put all these videos together, and that one's the first one that's going to be on the channel, and you may have already seen some of those on there. That's Spinal Tap 2, and I talk in it, and it sounds kind of like Spinal Tap, the original that was in the 80s, and it's Spinal Tap 2, and Okay. So that's it. So that when I'm on stage as a model who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I can say so that. So that. Okay. Well, these are going to be some feature films. I have three of them. Two of them are more well thought out. Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2 and Brokeback Mountain 2. Those are more funny. I spent time and effort on them, doing them since last summer, I think, some of them, or winter. Um, on a nice day in winter, I have filmed, or this year or something. Some of them have, I don't want to say exactly when it was from. Anyway, I have those, I've been working on those a while. Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2 and Brokeback Mountain 2. And they're pretty funny. And those are going to be on my channel. And those are more thought out. There's one that I already had some films on my channel that I spent a lot of effort on. And I decided yesterday, like within an hour's time, I said, I'm just gonna put them together as a feature length and put a title on it and say Spinal Tap 2. And that's the effort of the whole that idea. But the actual films that I did they all make sense, and I spend a tremendous amount of time on each film, like close to a month editing, but not like my original feature films that took years, like years of going back and editing. Not like my films Vampire Zanzibar, Crazy Animals, stuff like that. This is just like a more ambient film. It's like it has no script. It's not a particular way that movies generally are, but it's a lot like Spinal Tap because I talk in it and talk about music and recording and playing music. And so it's a lot like Spinal Tap 2 would be for the professional big budget one, but I happened to give it the name Spinal Tap 2, the feature film. Spinal Tap 2, the feature film. And that's uploading now. It's going to be on the channel pretty soon. So I'm going to check the comments and I'm probably going to get out of here. I'm probably going to take a shower. Universal Studio Roblox. I hope that's my kids, but I don't know if it is. It might be somebody else. They liked Roblox. That's like a video game thing. Well, I guess I'm gonna go. Those are the Pee Wee Herman's. Those are the Pee Wee Herman or the Pee Wee Herman replica sets, and I'm gonna call it Wee Wee's Big Adventure or Wee Wee. I'm gonna call it Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2. Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2, and it's a fair use parody, they call it. And I can put it on YouTube, and I have an LLC in case the big companies sue me or something like that. They'll just take whatever money that I made from the things and not take my own stuff or my house or anything. They can't with an LLC. And it's just a YouTube video, but it's a feature film. And I may put it on Amazon, but I'm not sure because it's their title and it's very close to their original ideas. So I'm just having it as a YouTube video, and it's called Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2, the feature film, a fair use parody of the original Pee Wee's Big Adventure and Pee Wee Herman and stuff like that. Maybe Pee Wee Herman, but I call my character Wee Wee Sherman, and it's funny. And I filmed some. I might have some more filming to do, but I don't want to put too much effort into that because, you know, unless it's really making money back, then I can put a tremendous amount of effort into it. Then I know that's what I'm getting paid for, and I can I can put a lot of effort into it because I was working on this house a lot, and that's this type of announcement. everything else, I guess, is going okay. I was very distraught, depressed for a long time with my family away, and she kept being kind of holding a grudge, and that's something else. So now it's like I'm happy. I feel happy. I feel happy now. So I guess everything's going okay for now. Um, I'm gonna go. That's Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2, the parody, the feature film. Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2, the feature film. It's gonna be on my channel. It's a fair use parody. Or just, Pee Wee's Big Adventure 2, Brokeback Mountain 2, talking like this, you know. I ain't no gay man. I ain't no gay man. I'm not. I'm I'm gay, but not in the gay way. I don't get gay with the sex of gay. But see, when I say but, uh, it's only it's only one way, not gay, is what they say to me. And I was like, man, but I put effort into it and not making it up right now on the spot. And that's Brokeback Mountain 2. That's going to be on my channel. And the character in it is straight. He's straight, but he's very kind to gay people. And he doesn't really say if he's straight sometimes, but he's pretty much straight, or he's a good person, and it's not really about being gay, but he talks about gay stuff and stuff here and there. But it but it's that's Brokeback Mountain 2. Then there's Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2. Those are more thought out. Those are more thought out. Then there's one that I spent a tremendous time just doing the music on. I didn't know I was gonna call it, and it's more ambient, and um, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and that one, it's not my best possible work ever, which is I I mean I have more of that sort of thing I can do later, but for now that this one's called Weeks, and I put a title on it, and it's feature length, called Spinal Tap 2. That one's uploaded now. And that one's like a little less thought into the whole idea, but it's a lot of work that I put into doing the editing and the music a little bit, or a lot. But it's some film. It's some film that I put my best work and effort into for what it was, and is what it will be. It's gonna be on the channel. That's Spinal Tap 2. Then there's gonna be Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2, Brokeback Mountain 2, and then I may have a lot. And then well, you know what? It may be some miracle. Um, um, I'm not. I don't know, but I'm trying to get a loan. I got a loan a couple years ago, and I was able to reinvest in my house, and now it's worth more. And I think my dad may co-sign on it or something like that, but I'm not sure. I have to see what we're gonna do with that, and if he co-signs on it, then I can get money from the bank and work on my house, make it worth more money a little bit. But I can't work on that too hard. I don't want to die working on that stuff like I did last year. I worked so hard on my house. So I think maybe I can make a feature film, like a really thought out one, but I don't know. I gotta get the money so I'm okay for a while. I can pay my bills, and I'm not gonna put money into the budget of the feature film with my own money anymore. I'm not gonna do that because I'm worried about paying my bills. But I can put a lot of effort into it. I can go there with my camera and film cool things and artistic things, or well thought out things that just have a good story, that you write down the whole story. That's a good screenplay, and you write and get it right, and take time away and think about it, and then go write again, and you keep writing, and you get a really good screenplay, or a book, and you can publish the book and stuff. But for me, I physically recreated the whole screenplay, or the work that I wrote. I physically made the whole thing. So that's what I like to do with my movies. That's just how thought was the type of art form that I liked. And then I started acting in my movies too. And it's kind of hard to act in them and be like the best looking cool actor or something like that, but it doesn't matter that much to look some special way. But the real work goes into the making the movies. And I had to pay bills, so I had to work on hard labor a lot last year on this house till I could barely go on. And then I had to like see what money I had to I paid a couple contractors very carefully to have enough money to keep going on and stuff. But last year I just worked in this house, but this year's I'll see how it goes. I'm gonna see if I get the new loan, and if not, I have some money for a while. So I try to work as hard as I can at things. I've been doing videos a lot on my channel, a lot. I've been doing hi everybody. I've been doing videos a lot on my channel for just 2 months, a month or 2 or 3, something like that, 2 months. And then I was like, I did not see many results, but I'm pretty sure I'm leaving it in the hands of God with these feature films. I'm pretty sure this is an actual marketing strategy that I got an LLC for it. I planned the movie title names, which should go big. It hasn't really been done before like this, with these big titles that people love the original movies, and I'm making the same name, the title, as a sequel, Brokeback Mountain 2, and I'm putting it to my film, which is not necessarily any connection to the original characters that they wrote and came up with, like whoever their characters are. And I figured out the business side for a while, and then I worked on the films as much as I could. I've been doing those for a while, and it's really my work as a filmmaker. And maybe I can put other people in the films instead of just me. I'd like to film my kids and their mom, but I can't take any more. I can't take any more of being isolated for 5 years with her still acting kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't want it to kill me. So I don't want it to kill me or feel so horrible that it affects my health. I mean, I don't want it to. I feel okay now. I have not worked out much in like many weeks. Many weeks, because I started editing more. But here and there, like I'm probably gonna have to take a shower after this video for this morning. But here and there, I did some jogging. Like I drink coffee and I felt lighter, so I do some exercise. But I haven't been doing that as much. I was putting the effort into the editing. I hadn't done that type of editing for a while. So that's the first film here. Is some of my best editing the past couple months, past few months, or past few years. Some of my best editing from the past few years, and maybe my best editing for the past few years. Just the editing, and the music was pretty good too. Some of the drumming is amazing, and that's Spinal Tap 2. That's uploading now, and more ambient film, like avant-garde, like not really following how the classical Hollywood movie style is, which is it has a protagonist who's the good guy, and he discovers everything's okay at the beginning. Then he gets a problem, and he doesn't know how he's gonna make it through, and then he keeps trying to be okay, and by some miracle, like it gets more and more difficult. It's like it's almost impossible near the end of the film, and he gets near the end of the screenplay or the movie, and it looks like it's gotten so difficult, and how's he ever going to do it? And then by some miracle, everything's okay, and it's a happy end to the story, and he made it, and that's the protagonist in the story, and then everything works out okay, and everyone's happy, and that's a normal movie narrative movie. That's a more normal narrative movie, the traditional kind of movie where and there's an antagonist who's supposed to be the bad guy hurting him, but sometimes the antagonist the good guy in some ways, and there's all different variations of the story they can have. But an avant-garde is like a cool way of or some like artistic way of saying it doesn't really follow a particular screenplay structure in the regular movie story writing ways and stuff. Like it's like a different kind of maybe Donnie Darko could be considered one of those, but that's like a big budget, really rich big budget movie that had like all the, you know, famous people who could just, that was like a big rich budget version of it. Didn't really have a story, but it had these really cool weird effects, and we're kind of saying, oh, it's cool, it's important because of something. And that's not like my films really. Some of those big budget movies, I don't know what they stand for, but mine stand for good. And I believe in God and Christianity and Jesus and being kind to others. And my films are okay. And I just want to get along more with family members and and family and friends and be okay with that. And I think I'm okay with that, and I'm gonna try to make more money. Trying to make more money at my films instead of having to do things that like put me under so much pressure. Yet last year to have to constantly do stuff for 8 months, that it it had me worried for my health, and I had to not really do much of anything for a month. The first 2 weeks of the month, I was worried that I'd be hospitalized pretty much every day. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then I got on medicine that helped me. And then I was still worried for the rest of that month. And then I was like starting to feel okay early this January because I'd worked so hard for 8 months on this house, mostly all this house. I still kind of did videos. I kind of did other stuff. I had to work out. I had to work out sometimes. I had to take a break from workout because I was worried I could die. And that was my way of avoiding going to the hospital. But I did go to the hospital to check out my health. And I don't want to have to work so hard like that. And I'm not going to, because I don't want to risk dying. So I've been more like editing. And I did work out a lot earlier, like a few months ago, and I started getting in really good shape. And then I was like, gosh, it took a tremendous effort. And then I didn't want to anymore, so I didn't know if I could anymore. It took 110%. It didn't take a regular amount of effort to get there at my age. So I started editing a lot, and I did all these effects. And that's the first feature film that's uploading now. It's almost done. It's gonna be on here probably today. Spinal Tap 2, and then there's Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2, and Brokeback Mountain 2. Brokeback Mountain 2. And there's some other ones that are that I'm probably gonna put on my channel that are more of a marketing idea to make money back based upon the popularity of those names of the feature films. And a lot of effort went into them, but nowhere near as much as my films of Vampires of Zanzibar, Crazy Animal, and Rednecks, and Meant to Be, and Rebel Fish, and some of the other ones like that that I did those films. And Rednecks had a little less effort, but it was still, some of it had a lot of effort. But Meant to Be was a good one. I want to do Meant to Be the feature film, and that one took a lot of effort, and I had never done anything like that before, so it was hard to really actually do something like that for the first time myself, and have a crew, have there are other people who like helped me, and she was in it. My wife at the time, or my wife, or however I'm supposed to call her now, but I don't want to suffer anymore from her acting like, saying mean things to me or whatever. So I'm taking some time. She's not mean. I love her very much, but I don't know. And I'm just gonna be happy and not die from her grudge that she might hold against me, or me, or I don't know. Anyway, women hold a grudge longer than a man in general. They hold a grudge longer than a man. So I have those three feature films, and I have some other. Every time I think of an idea for a movie, like if my friends and family have an idea for a movie and they want to do one, I can film it, and it doesn't have to be something that takes years to make, like a big giant, it can be a real movie that's feature length, because I figured out, I learned how to get them feature length, and with the right title and the right thinking, like the Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2 is going to be a real feature film that's a more of a, it's pretty good. It took some effort. Roger Corman, somehow without thinking about it, Roger Corman made 100 movies in Hollywood. Roger Corman, and some of them are filmed in days, and they look like regular big movies, and they were filmed in days. Roger Corman, he was a big movie producer. He did B movies, but there were big movies. Like they had big budgets, and I don't have the budgets of those right now, but I might, in the future, I may. I don't know. I'd like to, from somewhere else, not from my money personally or anyone I know's money in my family. I don't want to use their money for stuff like that. Um, um, and I don't need that much money to do my films. But in the past, I would spend on credit cards or any way I could. It was bad. You're not supposed to do it any way you can. And I don't have all the answers. God has all the answers. I'm a flawed person. I sin and stuff. So I did things wrong. I prioritized that movie stuff way too much. I prioritized the movie stuff way too much. And it still felt like it got back in return like 1% or a few percent of what I had thought the return would be, which would be like, as hard as I worked, as much as I prioritized it all those years, I thought it would go huger, but it got a lot of return. And I think that's the problem with giving into temptation, when people prioritize their career and they want to be rich, or they want to be the best in the world, which means in hell. Others, you're no better than any others. We're different, and we're equal in the eyes of God, I guess. And we're all sinners, but God is the one who judges us when we die, whether or not we go to heaven. And I don't know where else people can go besides hell, but there may be places that people go, like, to still interact with humans once they don't have their body. I don't know. And it's a chance for them to get into heaven, so they help us. And then when their work is done, then they get to go to heaven and feel okay and happy, I guess, there. And really happy. It's like an unconditional, overwhelming, unconditional feeling of love where everything's okay and there's nothing bad or wrong at all. And everything's just okay. And that's what heaven feels like. So that's what my purpose is. But when it's too overwhelming, I can't, there's only so much I can do for being kind and doing that sort of stuff. So I've got to pay my bills too, and there's only so much I can do of that hard labor or stuff that is like, I'll try my best at the other stuff, but it's like I don't know how much more of it I can do, but I'll do my best. Here and there I can help them with it, people with stuff. Um, but it's gonna have to feel better for me if it's something I do more long term, like other type of work. But I can't. I don't know if I can. I'm pretty sure I can't ever do the other real estate type of stuff for too much, or the of doing it, calling it real estate and signing contracts and stuff when it's done. And like, I know how to do it, but I don't want someone telling me how to do it to where it's like working hard labor all the time, like every trying to figure out. I don't. I'm not sure. I don't like doing it as much, so I'm doing these feature films. I don't want it to take a toll or an effect on my health, but I could die at any time, and I'm ready to die, so I'm not worried about it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm ready to die if I had to die. If God wants me to die, but I'm not trying to die. I want to feel happy enough that I don't give up the will to live or something. I think people can give up the will to live, but they're not. I'm not gonna do that probably until I'm older. That's when people are very old. Usually they're happy about being alive. People are usually happy about being alive. Even if you get a little depressed, it's not going to hurt you. I was really depressed for a year or two with how things got, and I thought it had to be this way. Um, and then I rationalized I'm not going to kill myself. And I just started feeling happier by some miracle, or I don't know how. I made it through and it just got better again. So by some miracle, I have my health and I'm okay. By some miracle, I have my health and I'm okay. My mental health, my physical health right now, I've been through a lot mentally, more than most anyone when I was younger. I had some real problems with it, like the anxiety stuff, like racing and racing. It would not let me go for years, like all day. It could not stop. It was pretty bad. I think people would kind of think it's funny and jump on the bandwagon. Like I was just like uh, hanging in there to not accept physical problems when I was younger, and then I figured out how to be okay uh, by some miracle. I don't do that anymore. I think in my 40s, now I'm 42. I heard from some people when you're in your early 40s, that stuff starts going away. So I made it long enough to where it stopped bothering me. And I figured out like how to calm down and how to how to calm down and not let someone have me constantly doing things all the time or something like that. I was a real workaholic, but I can still work. I can. I can still work pretty hard. I can still work pretty hard. I gotta stop rubbing my eye. I'm not gonna rub my eyes. I don't know where the cats are. Well, I'm gonna go. Okay, three new feature film, three new feature films on my, three new feature films on my channel, and maybe more. There's one uploading now. It'll be on my channel. One's like more experimental, avant-garde, ambient, and that one's Spinal Tap too. But it, in many ways, it's like Spinal Tap because it shows me playing music and talking about music and stuff. So that's a feature film. Spinal Tap 2, that's uploading now. Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2, Brokeback Mountain 2, those are more thought out and less experimental and avant-garde. There's more have like a storyline and then there's other ones, all sorts of other ones I want to do. I'm trying to get a loan now, and I'm able to get a loan. I was able to get a loan a couple years ago to fix up this house, and I think I can get another one again. So then maybe I can do a really well thought out one because I'll have more time and know that I'll be okay financially, so I can really do a thought out one. And for now, I'm still working on these feature films. I come up with an idea. If you have any ideas for like a big movie that didn't have a sequel, I could film something for it and say, you know, I have an LLC. They can't really sue me. I could give it a parody title and say it's a parody, and or I could say it just happens to have this similar title. But you know, I take that back. I can't take any unsolicited information. I'm not allowed to take any unsolicited information unless you want to be unless one of you wants to be a writer of something or an idea for a movie, and maybe we can work together and I can film something, or you could pay me to do a whole real movie and I could put it out there in stores and stuff. If one of you has an idea, you want to make a whole real movie, I can film the whole thing like these are real movie. These are real movies. Um, there are various levels of them, but I'm saying you can make one that's like really one that could go huge and like, you know, maybe even have the chance that like that's what motivated me all those years to do my best work. I wanted to win an Academy Award for the first biggest, you know, independent film, or that was, you know, low budget or no budget, stuff like that. But you can do something like that. It doesn't have to be the hugest, biggest thing in the world. It's just something that now that you can make a living, maybe we can make money out or something if you have an idea. But don't start sending me unsolicited ideas because I can't do that. In the movie industry, they don't do that. But if you wanted to sign an actual a contract and say you are the writer of something, then maybe I could use a script, but I'd have to sign something. I can't use any random ideas that you give me. Um, um, anyway, but if one of you wanted to write a whole movie and send me the screenplay, I may consider like producing it. If one of you. So, yes, Sundance, stuff like that I thought was so cool, and you know, you can still maybe some people maybe get into there, but you know, Clerks did it. So I'm gonna go. Those movies are gonna be on my channel. I start doing, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, bye. Bye. Yay. Oh yeah. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna turn the video off. Take it easy. Okay. Okay. These movies will be. Oh. I don't know. These movies will be on my channel. I have not really filmed anything on the green screen yet. besides this thing I edited on my iPhone, haven't really filmed this stuff. I've got, oh, this is uploading now. It's really working hard. It's uploading a feed, 90% done. It's been uploading since yesterday. This is Spinal Tap 2, the feature film. Anyway, I really just want my kids back. And then I can go to work, paying for all of us, paying all our bills, making movies for us if they want to do it, if she wants to. Hope she doesn't get angry for something. I don't, and anyway, the cat's down here somewhere. Cat's down here. Listen to, oops, I'm going to paint it on top of that door. There's the bicycle I used for Pee-wee's Big Adventure 2. There's some trophy I found. I might use that for something. Listen to this. Oh, I was painting. I was doing some touch-up paint. I got tons of groceries. I finally did the dishes. Listen to how it sounds out here. Okay, that's it. New feature films on my channel. One's uploading now. It's more of an avant-garde, and there's gonna be some more thought out ones and stuff. Okay, whoops. Does he want to come in? Come on. What are you doing? Okay.